Yeah, good morning. Welcome to Daily Digest with Jimi Disu, brought to you by MTN. Yes, MTN is back on the sponsorship thing. So we'll take a short commercial break and then we'll get back to you.
When it comes to watching your favorite comedy videos, are you a giggler, a snorter, a faller, or maybe you are all of the above?
Whether it's comedy, football, Niger movies, cooking, learning, or drama, go from one video you love to another on YouTube. With the new video data bundle from MTN, enjoy even more affordable, longer hours of video content. Just text YouTube to 131 now. With YouTube, now you go tire. When time reach to watch comedy videos with a sweet your belly, you be area scatter. You dey snort. You be kappa. Or maybe you be all join. Whether na comedy, football, Niger movies, cooking videos, learning, or drama, videos bracketed for you to watch back to back on YouTube. With the new video data bundle from MTN, enjoy yafu hours of video content. Just text YouTube to 131 now. With YouTube, now you go tire.
When it comes to watching your favorite cooking videos, are you a multitasker? A note taker? A show-off? Or maybe you're all of the above?
Whether it's cooking videos, Niger movies, learning, comedy, or drama, go from one video you love to another on YouTube. With the new video data bundle from MTN, enjoy even more affordable, longer hours of video content. Just text YouTube to 131 now. With YouTube, now you go tire.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Entertaining and informing Nigeria 24/7.
Nigeria Center for Disease Control on Thursday reported 790 new cases. We're going to talk about the new independent political movement that launched yesterday and says it wants to reform the constitution.
Tune in every weekday and weekends for the best radio programming.
But then again, he found something condemnable. I'm talking about how they've been observing the social distancing.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
This is Daily Digest with Jimi Disu.
Yeah, you're welcome back to Daily Digest with Jimi Disu. I see that the comments made this morning infuriated some people. But let me quickly put it in clarity. One, what I said was that the issues raised by the NSAS, the NSAS movement and so on and so forth, I completely identify with. My worry is that thinking that you could go to the British Parliament or American whatever to find a solution is that's a problem that I have, because I will know it will come to naught. And I'm speaking from experience. I'm not trying to intimidate people with experience. I'm just telling you I'm speaking from experience. Part of the problems of these countries were caused by these people anyway, to put it bluntly. For example, you took humongous loans, then your people were encouraged to steal the money and bring it back to them, and then you found yourself a debtor nation. I remember 1984, for example, when Buhari was the president way back then. We wanted to do counter trade with Nigeria and some other debt-ridden countries, and Argentina, Brazil, whatever. All of them had their government changed one way or the other within 12 months. Because because the argument that Buhari and co put forward then was that the money you claim we owe you is with you. And therefore, what I was raising an alarm for is that the interest that most of these countries have is their own interest. They're not. Don't think that you can, people will be interested in your own welfare when you can't sort yourselves out. And I said, let us sort ourselves out internally. Now, the one thing you don't do when you contribute to public discourse is to do so from a point of anger. There was one young gentleman who was very angry. I sympathized with him. Or frustration. You need to be clear-headed. It is important for you to note that I did not say don't do anything. But what I simply said is that sometimes it would appear to some of us who have been in this race for long that The very people who sometimes, not in all times, cause these problems are the same people you are going to report yourselves to, and that is where it was. And especially with the young people, I'm not trying to intimidate you with age. No, don't get that. I'm just giving you my own little 10 pence to say to you that never think for once that somebody else has an interest in your own progress. Even in life, it doesn't work like that. In real life, if you look at it from a very strong critical point, your fate is in your hands and in the hands of God. Maybe your parents, even among siblings, sibling rivalry could dictate that your brother is not really interested in whatever progress you make. So it is important that we have that at the back of our, and that is a legitimate statement to make. Like I said, yes, I know it can be frustrating. There is a lot of anger in the land. I can understand that. And I felt so sorry because I was actually driving when I heard the young man calling. And I wanted to take Jimi Disu on. Jimi Disu is not a problem. I can understand. And I can understand that, his anger and frustration. But this is not a time to be angry, nor a time to be frustrated. Let's all try and see. Some of the countries that have developed today did not go to other countries to seek their solution. They did it from within. I had a reaction from a friend who said that, those who sent in the petition live in the UK, and that if they had sent it to the National Assembly, it would not have seen the light of day. Sometimes these things are not done by petition only. But I can come on here and tell you what tactics you could use as an activist. Very soon, that will be made known by those who have that. My own function here as a journalist is to make sure that at least people's views are put across, and we can inform our people. So I do apologize to the young man and some people who felt incensed by what I said, but I stand by it. The solution to your problem does not lie with another man. You just have to find the way around it. And you cannot think it out in a fit of anger, and frustration. You're playing into the hands of those. That's exactly what they want. And then the issue of wanting to apply sanctions, we need to be careful. Give you a very good recent example. Sanctions were applied, in I think it was in Zimbabwe. The Mugabe family are still the richest on the face of the earth. But the Zimbabweans at one time were struggling to get milk, bread, and tomato puree and stuff like that. Okay, so that's my little contribution to that. Would gladly listen to other people's views, but I would say that the less angry you are, the more rational you will whatever. Last week, Chief Darlington, who is a well-known contributor to our programs, tried so hard to get me. And so what I said to him is that, okay, Chief Darlington, I would put a call through to you today, discuss a few things with you for about 10, 15 minutes. Then that will be taken care of. I'm also happy to tell you that I spoke to Kelvin. I made a lot of friends on radio. Some I'd never even seen. I don't know what Comrade Akpan looks like. I don't know whether he's short. I don't know whether he's tall. I don't know whether he's light complexion. I don't know whether he's dark complexion. But I know his voice any day. And I look forward to seeing him. So we'll try and get Chief Darlington on the phone now. But in the meantime, the number to call is 0700 993 993 993. And by the way, like I said earlier on in the introduction, this program is sponsored by MTN, and we're glad to welcome them back. It was just a bit of a hitch in between, so we're glad to welcome them back to the program. They also sponsor the discourse on Sunday. Right, and we are almost at the end of November. December is a holiday period for some of us. And therefore, in between, you'll be having a few breaks here and there because man no be machine. Man would have to rest a bit. And the only time I can get to do that is because you always feel obligated, to be on duty all the time. But then again, Even your age will dictate to you that you do need to take some rest once in a while. Can I take a call, please? Now, remember when you put a call through, speak from a quiet background. Hello.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Morning. Who's calling?
Show your life, my name.
Yes.
Please, I would like to talk concerning analyze.
Go on.
Please, I just want to let Nigerians understand one thing. Because when you mention it, people criticizing you.
Yes.
But the issue is this. Nigeria, we don't want to understand one thing. What happened to America just recently? If it is Nigeria, Nigeria will have gone to the world and report that issue. Look at what happened to Trump.
Yes.
It is glaring that Joe Biden won the election.
Mm-hmm.
He refused to accept it.
Yes.
But no, we internally they are trying to settle the issue. But if it is Nigeria, we will go everywhere. And I will put a call to the embassy A, I will put a call to the embassy B, and that's what they are putting call that we are looking at. They are doing this for their own selfish interest.
Yes.
That is why I don't know why Nigeria cannot think. We need to solve our problem internally. And then if you want to travel, you don't castigate your country because you want to travel. There are other ways you can travel. Why are you seeking asylum? Because of it's so that they can accept you. No, it is wrong. Because if you leave country, every Nigeria that will leave the country. If you run down the country, and those countries will not have anything to do with us. And the impact will be on Nigerians, other Nigerians that are residing in Nigeria here. So you think first that whatever anything you do, you should think of other Nigeria. If you have opportunity to live gently and don't use asylum, because you are telling Nigeria that Nigeria is also that nobody should stay.
Okay, thank you very much.
The implication of it is.
Thank you. We usually give a minute. Yes, I forgot his name. The point you raised is completely valid. I repeat again, nobody is going to solve your problem for you but yourself. You know, because sometimes Yoruba say, you know, some of you need to go down memory lane, go down history, and find out what the interests of these people were in the first place in your own country. What have they contributed to some of the problems that you have? You need to be very clear-minded. This is not, I tell people, the times we are in now is not a time to be angry. This is a time to sit back and be clear-minded so that when you're looking for a solution, you're not doing it to fulfill all righteousness. You're looking for a solution that will solve your problem. And that is very, very important. Very, very important. Then the issue of asylum is a difficult one for me to because of course I'm not at my age, nobody will be thinking of asylum anyway. But the question I ask is, it would be nice for one to talk to 2-3 people who have gone on that kind of asylum and then ask them what their real feelings are. The thing that I get is that at the end of the day, 5-10 years later, you find these people struggling to come back home. Now, the aspiration of a human being, you can want to go anywhere, you can want to live anywhere in the world. I have no problem with that. It's by choice. But you must be very clear. You must be very, very clear that this thing I'm going to do is going to solve my problem, because it is not automatic. It solves some people's, it doesn't solve some people's, and so you better be very, very careful. The first thing we need to do moving forward in this country is to take anger out of the equation and frustration, because for as long as your judgment will be clouded. And then let's listen to those who have had experience in the past. I'm not referring to myself. Don't think that's what I'm saying. But let's listen to people who have gone through these kind of things and find out. For example, Ghana solved its own problem to a large extent. The emergence of Rawlings brought a new Ghana entirely. And the thinking in Ghana is completely different from what we have here. Our own thinking changed when that man came, and there are all kinds of rumors about how he emerged anyway. We leave that to history to decide. But what we do know is that he did some things in the interest of the West, devalued his currency, did this, did that, and at the end of the day, where are we today? At almost only over 400 to 1, you're still saying that, oh, your naira is overvalued, it's this and that. Kotoing. I just want Nigerians and Africans, that's why I like the speech I heard this gentleman give, the Rwandan man. Said there is no aid. Nobody gives you aid for free. Oh, we will get Germany to come and help us develop our car. Develop what? If they develop, it's like you saying that you are a mechanic. You go and service a man's car, then you teach him how to service it. Is it going to call you the second time? There is nothing called aid. All the loans, most of the loans that Nigeria took for so-called development ended up in private hands and ended up in Western banks. So the money has gone full circle. The money is domiciled in one place, in the same place from which it originated. Like I give Zainab. Zainab says I should loan her 50,000. I give Zainab 50,000, and I tell her husband, Zainab is coming home with 50,000. No, take it, bring it, let me keep it for you. Then he keeps it for me. Then I make sure the husband doesn't get the money. All kinds of tricks I play. Who? Please don't get angry. I plead with you. Don't get angry. We all need to sit down and look and think carefully. Think deeply. Let's take another call. And by the way, somebody said that I said Nigerians were lazy or something. I did not make a general statement. I said most of us. Are, and that's because the truth is, most of us we don't think deep. Always look in one direction. And that was manifested. For example, something happens in the National Assembly. It hasn't gained grounds. What does your senator do? He picks up his phone and calls the American embassy, as if the people in the embassy were employed to the members of the House of the British Parliament, God bless them, were all elected to take care of their constituencies in the first instance, and they have enough on their plates. Don't get me wrong. It is important you note that I am not condemning that move. I'm just saying that it might amount to very little. Okay? Let's pick another call. Hello, morning.
Oh. Yeah, good morning.
Morning.
Yes, my name is I2 Okori. I am calling from Ojo.
Yes.
I think I agree with you in total.
Yeah, I'm happy to hear that. Yes.
Because I think you are playing with the truth.
I'm playing with the truth.
Yes, because this country, where it is today, is being put by people outside the country. This is what we are talking about today. And we have not gone out of their hands. And we are not independent of them.
Yes.
For instance, when they say that, okay, don't sell weapons to them, did we kind of come and they start producing our own weapons? Okay, look at in the U.S. now. There is a structure in place. This man doesn't want to go, but there's a structure in place that even the person that is in security can even arrest him in the next minute when they decide that look at what the law say and they decide not to obey it. Now in Nigeria here we have a law that people protesting, they are peacefully. You should not shoot a live bullet. This is existing, and people are taking the laws into their own hands, and we are supporting them. Now look at again the federal character internally. Are we obeying it? But in U.S., like Trump now, when the time comes that the U.S. has decided, they obey this law.
Okay, all right. Okay, thank you, sir. You only have a minute, and your minute is up, and I think your point is well made. And I respect your opinion, but what I'd like you to, I thought you would come up with concrete examples as to how inviting foreign whatever, into your politics will solve your problem. But I didn't hear that. But I respect your opinion, and I'm happy that you disagreed with me publicly. It shows a lot of bravery on your part, and I respect you for that. I thought we wanted to get Chief Darlington.
Yes, we have to hold on phone calls.
Okay. But let's get him now, so we'll just put him on hold. We'll be paying for the credit, not him. So let's take another call. Hello, morning.
Hello.
Morning.
Hello. Good morning. Yeah, my name is Johnson. I'm calling you from Oyungo.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
yes, sir, Mr. Johnson.
I just want to let's take for instance as you are. You have a wife. And maybe when you caught your wife committing adultery for the first time, you talk to her. You caught her for the second time. You talk to her. You caught her for the third time. You talk to her. Now you decide you made up your mind to maybe to divorce your wife, right? Now, before you divorce your wife, won't you consult your family and the family of your wife before you divorce your wife? Yeah, you do that, right?
Yeah.
Now, why are you not blaming Nigerians going to UK to lay their report? What the killing that has been happening
is UK your family? With the analogy that you gave, are they your family?
God, just please, just hold on to me.
No, we have a minute. You have to call back. We have to take a commercial.
You can't just come on air and start insulting Nigerians. So what?
I didn't insult Nigerians. We need to take a commercial break and then we'll be right back.
Live from the heart of Victoria Island, you're listening to your number one station, 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Don't touch that dial. Daily Digest returns in a moment.
When it comes to watching your favorite football videos, are you a chanter? An analyzer?
Let's change to 4-3-3 formation.
A coacher?
Let's replace this goalkeeper now.
Or maybe you're all of the above.
Whether it's football, comedy, Niger movies, cooking, learning, or drama, go from one video you love to another on YouTube. With the new video data bundle from MTN, enjoy even more affordable, longer hours of video content. Just text YouTube to 131 now. With YouTube, now you go tired.
My friend, when you dey watch ball, which one you be? You be that person where they analyze the match?
Now 4-3-3 formation, give us winning here.
Now you dey hail them. Maybe you just like to celebrate. Abi you be all join.
Whether na football, comedy, Niger movies, cooking videos, learning, or drama, videos bracketed for you to watch back to back on YouTube. With the new video data bundle from MTN, enjoy yafu hours of video content. Just text YouTube to 131 now. With YouTube, now you go tired.
When it comes to watching your favorite Nollywood videos, are you emotional?
Oh, a crier,
An applauder.
I gave my whatever and you gave yours. So what is insulting about that? What is insulting about saying that take a second look at? I have not said that. I have not said that I am not in support of what I just said is that where you have gone to look for your solution has to be internalized, and that's it. I gave my opinion, you gave yours. So please, when you do make these calls, let's try and be a bit civil and not whip up on undue sentiments. You're insulting them. Nobody has insulted anybody. Nobody. You have an absolute right not to agree with the views that I've put across. It's your right. In fact, you could jolly well be right. Usually, sometimes when I stand corrected, I admit and say I stand corrected. What I am telling you is that from historical perspectives, running to Europe and running to America is not, with your problem is not going to solve it. We have to stay back home and solve our problem ourselves. How we're going to do it, deep thinking will produce that. To be honest with you, had the NSAS whatever not been hijacked, and had it been better planned and in terms of timing and whatever and tactics, that would have been a very good place to start. But it got bungled when the whole thing was hijacked, because it was actually effective. Had we done 2-3 days and then waited and did it in some other form, we would have had the movement going. But now that the whole thing was hijacked by hoodlums and so on and so forth, it's truncated. Now we are talking, instead of talking about the issues that the NSAS whatever brought up, we are now talking about what took place in Lekki. And what we don't realize is that we are playing the script of people who most likely didn't want the NSAS whatever to succeed. All the issues the NSAS have brought up, they're out of public discussion now. We are now all talking about the Lekki shooting, which is unfortunate. I mean, the Lekki shooting is very important. It's very important, and it is important that we get to the end of it, and let's wait and see where the tribunal, what results it will produce. So that's it, Mr. Johnson. If you feel insulted, I'm sorry. Nobody insulted you. Just calm down. I told you, don't react from a point of anger or frustration. And the analogy about husband and wife, it doesn't quite work here, because these people are not your family. You said that would you go and tell your in-laws they are not your family. It is like go to tell your neighbor. not your neighbor. It's like go to tell your landlord who feels that you are owing him money. Okay, have you gotten Chief Darlington yet?
So we need to hold on call.
Yes, we'll hold on call so we can get Chief Darlington and talk to him. I think whilst we're doing that, this issue of mediation is very important. There's this newspaper here, The Nation, talks about how you're encouraged, rather than go to court all the time, you can go to the mediation center, and the director there, Mrs. Abiola Oseni, has urged all residents of Lagos to embrace alternative dispute resolution as a means of resolving disputes. Okay, the Lagos State government has various centers, spread all over the state, landlord matters, landlord tenants, and matters like that. You can take them to these places and get them resolved rather than head to court. It says here that for the month of October, the center amicably resolved 516 cases, okay, spanning a wide range of issues such as landlord tenancy, land disputes, and monetary claims. Okay, if somebody is owing you money and whatever, you can take them to this. What I don't know is if the resolutions agreed at these dispute centers are, they're like judgments, in law. I think we need to bring Mrs. Oseni here to come and explain a few things. The total number of cases received were 820, 516 were settled, and 86 cases were referred to appropriate agencies of government. 104 cases were terminated due to non-attendance at mediation centers by the parties involved, because it takes two to mediate. I mean, if you have a problem with somebody, the two of you must be present to get a resolution. So we have that information on our hands while we are still trying to get Chief Darlington. Have you gotten him?
Guys, please kindly stop calling for now. We need to reach Mr. Darlington.
Okay. He's not Mr. He's Chief.
Chief. Okay, Chief Darlington.
Also, there's a focus in the papers today about the flight operations in Nigeria, accident waiting to happen. And all of us are quite worried, about the aviation industry. Now, you might just say that it's none of my business. It's only the rich people that fly. But remember that, God forbid, if anything goes wrong, they will land on somebody's head on the ground. So we must pay an attention to to what it is. And it says here that the two chambers of the National Assembly declared the state of aviation sector, warning that disaster looms without adequate funding. I see. And that they need the sum of 50 billion to meet the requirements of airline operators. 50 billion. That's what is needed. The issue also came up of Senator Undume, who stood bail for Meina. Now, it is important for us to know that either if you stand bail or stand surety, or if you stand as guarantor, for any person or persons, as the case may be, is a very risky thing to do, because what it means is that if that person doesn't show up at the appropriate time in the appropriate place, then it will be your responsibility to produce the person, or you begin to do the jail time. And in fact, Wemiman was telling me this morning that she knew somebody who had been in jail for 10 years. You have Chief Darlington here, 10 years. Morning, Chief Darlington. How are you?
Good morning, sir, Uncle Jimmy.
Yeah, we've been trying to get you. Yes, you wanted to make a point last week, and that's the major reason why I'm calling you back. So I'd like to give you the opportunity to make that point.
Yeah, okay. Concerning the small arms and light weapons.
Yes.
Precisely what was it now? One of the things I had wanted to say is that the military has consistently said that they never shot directly at people.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to also clear this point, that for every live ammunition shot into the air,
yes,
it's capable of killing somebody.
It will land somewhere.
It's capable of killing somebody.
Mm.
Now, the distance at which that live ammunition, that bullet, let me use the common language, travels into the air,
mm-hmm.
it gets to a point where it can no longer ascend.
Yes.
And then it will return. Research has shown that we have seen places where those bullets even penetrated roofs of houses and killed people inside.
Mm-hmm.
Talk more of those people who were outside on the road in front at the Lekki toll gate.
Mm.
So that they didn't shoot directly at those protesters does not mean that they didn't kill them. Because for those live ammunitions that have been discovered, because there's what is called markings. For every firearm and ammo, every manufacturer has their markings on it. So it is easy to trace.
Mm.
And the moment you pick the shells, you will find the markings of the manufacturers and countries on those shells. And then you go to those companies, those countries to actually identify who bought them. That was what CNN did.
Okay. All right. Now, the question I also want to ask, did you hear the news when we reviewed the news this morning, and my views about, writing petitions to the British Parliament?
That's an understatement. Some of us are ardent followers of a certain Jimi Disu.
Yes.
So, yes, I did. I've been trying to even call into this segment.
Yes.
Even though I didn't succeed. Now, let me say this clearly to Nigerians. You see, it's those who are calling and quickly reporting us to the other foreign governments. What do they want them to do to us?
Mm-hmm.
It's like a Muslim who will always blame his imams for certain things that happen and then go straight to a deity to report the imam and the people. And then when the deity strikes, both he and the imam will be affected.
Yes.
I do not know why people want us to be colonized again in this era. The thinking is I don't want to use a word that is not radio friendly.
Okay, please don't.
Sometimes these are the same people apparently who suffer from the same mentality, who will take our money from this country and go and put them in those foreign countries. And then those foreign lands will use your money to develop their countries. And then at the end of the day, you cry poverty here. Look at the class and caliber of those who had often said or gone to report us to the other foreign countries. For goodness sake, there are certain things spelled out in the United Nations Treaty. There are limited areas where other countries, the British or the Britain of this world, the Americans of this world, France and all of them can do to us. Because some of these things that are happening are our internal affairs. But that what is most painful is that in this time where we have also seen that no country in the world, I repeat, no country in the world does not have its own problems, peculiarities, whichever way you want to call it. But going to those countries, what do you want them to come do to us here? To come colonize us again? It's not possible. Some of the problems we are passing through today were actually handed over to us by our colonial masters.
Exactly.
And so, except we are well informed to that extent to understand it, we will begin to note that even the Nigerian constitution is in Nigerian in itself. Until we are able to fashion out a constitution that is Nigerian, that will identify the culture and tradition of the people and their own peculiarities and idiosyncrasies, we will continue to suffer from this mentality of looking at what is happening in another country and wanting to equate exactly what is happening there to what should be here in Nigeria. On that note, I frown. We have had even senators, people who are supposed to be our lawmakers, told us plainly that they have reported us to foreign countries.
Yes.
What does that tell you? It tells you that maybe I should borrow from the word, I should borrow from the words of Captain Blake, low-grade mentality. We are still down there until we begin to reason as Nigerians and believe that whatever happens here, we die here and do it ourselves. We will continue to suffer from that mentality. We know of countries in Asia who closed up, who locked up their economy, not going out, not coming in, and they survived. And today they are giants. Why should we continue to beg the Britain and America to come back to colonize us? Most of us will continue to refuse. Most of us will continue to teach these people what it is supposed to be. When I listened to you this morning, I was smiling. Of course, I will always listen to you. I was smiling because it is high time we told some of these persons that their mentality is eroded by inferiority complex. This is the way it is, and that is the way it should be. We had our problems here. For goodness sake, suggest ways forward through which these problems could be resolved here internally. The British government cannot come back here tomorrow to say they want to do certain things that is against the UN treaty. It is not possible. And we must understand it accordingly. And then some of these persons, when they say it, I laugh. Every day, day in, day out, they go on radio and television to make these assertions that are not even possible. They don't even know it's not even possible. There's a limit. They can make statements. Look at what is happening in America today.
Yes.
If it were in the Nigerian situation, America would have issued a statement to say, so, blah, 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 politicians will not be allowed to come into U.S. Has Nigeria made such comments that with what is happening, that the sitting president is even refusing to leave his seat, even though he knows that the system through which he is serving does not tolerate the kind of thing he's doing. Whether he insisted or not, come that day, the system will go away from him. And the system is gradually leaving him. Can't we learn from all of that? That they have their own problem and they have a way of wanting to clear their own problem.
Okay, Chief Dandy, from some of the reactions that I heard, there seems to be a frustration as if all other things, because there was a caller that said all other things have been tried. What do we do? You can see people they're weakened by the fact that it appears as if there's nothing else they can do. And I have said that this was my own view is that it's not going to be an event. It has to be a marathon. You have 2023 around the corner. Let us start from now and make sure that people who we know will not do our bidding, people who we know do not have our interests at heart, will not find themselves in position of authority. But are we ready to do that? We seem to be in a hurry. These things, to free yourselves from the claws of these people is a tough job. And the angrier you get, the happier they get, because they know that when you are angry and frustrated, it'll be very extremely difficult for you to put something together that can dislodge them. I'd like to know your views on that.
God bless you, Uncle Jimmy. The truth is precisely what you have said. I have said this at different fora. We have tried various political parties, or well, not even various, just about
yes.
two of them. What have we gotten? And now the NSAS protest came to open the eyes of so many other persons, particularly the youth.
Yes.
And I said, they've made their point. But beyond making your point, what is next? You have your power. You have your franchise. How many of these youth have voters cards? On election day, you find many of them playing ball on the streets. How many of them have taken it upon themselves before now to say that we have a place in this country, we can make things happen? Even though they try to tell us that the leadership was faceless, I refuse to accept that. Because the way that protest was organized, we've never, not even Labour has had it better than that.
Yes.
And the truth simply is what you have said. We have a system now. We have a 2023 ahead. Is it enough to speak when you have the power to change government? Is it enough to say you have tried everything you needed to try? That is a defeatist ideology. There's no way you can say you have tried everything. Babangida at a point in time told this country that he had tried everything to boost the economy of Nigeria. But to him, nothing was happening. But even so, he sleeps and wakes up and finds the economy still running. It meant that he had not done what he was supposed to do. He had merely worked within the limitations of his ideals. Now, for anybody who speaks in that way, I simply believe that that person has gotten to his own limitation. But don't forget that your limitation is the beginning point for another man. It is for all of us to come together to use our ballots. In 2023, from now, it has to start from now. Nigeria does not have a system that trains leadership. Nigeria does not have a system that moves leadership from one point to another. I heard you at a point in time when you did say that in some places we're supposed to have, oh, you look at this boy, he's very brilliant, he's in school. You join hands together and begin to raise that boy for the leadership position of tomorrow. We do not have that. Do we have it?
No, we don't.
No. Is it enough? The youth have protested, they have made their point. Everywhere I go, what I tell them, I say, go and register if you don't have the PVC and get your PVC. The same way you had a faceless leadership that helped you organize a near perfect situation in your protest. Begin to use that to organize yourself now to say, this is the person we think can serve us well in 2023. It has to begin now. It should have started since yesterday. But the next best time is now.
Yes.
Until they realize that, until people, some elders who know it, continue to also help them with some of these ideas, we will still be running around the same circle.
Okay, Chief, we got to go. Thank you very much for talking to us. I'm most grateful.
Thank you. Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning. Yes, that was Chief Darlington. I had to bring him in from last week. We'll continue this discussion, not tomorrow. Tomorrow is Diabomi. And so we'll relax a bit. Then on Thursday, we'll continue with it. And we'll continue with it because we need to educate ourselves. But like I said, please, this is not the time for anger. This is not the time for emotions. This is not the time for blaming. Okay? You cannot be running forward and looking back. This is the time for all of us to get together, move forward, and see how we can salvage this country. We'll be back tomorrow, 9 a.m. in the morning. Oh, we have 10 minutes. Oh, I didn't know that. I thought you said 5. I don't know how many fingers you have. So we still have 10 more minutes. Then let me pick a call. Hello, good afternoon. Good morning, sorry. Hello, morning.
Yeah, Uncle Jimmy, good morning, sir.
Morning, who's calling?
Thank you very much. Please don't be offended. Whatever language that guy used, please, I'm begging you, my brother. Whenever I hear your voice, I feel relaxed.
No, I'm not offended.
Not offended. Thank you once more for apologizing to former President Jonathan, all you said then. For the people looking for asylum or whatever, for me, Uncle Jimmy, I think the government, the people running the affairs of this country, they are not ready to listen. I told you the other day, they should listen to you. You've been preferring solution, and you said no. So you don't blame those who are calling for international community to help us out. You can see what happened in Edo. If not the warning, they warned them. Do you think they will not do that funny thing they normally do during the election?
Yes.
So
But it is important to know that ultimately the Edo people took their fate in their own hands. Nobody came to help them.
I'm telling you, my brother, is that few minutes caution? I mean, those guys caution. That is why they sit up. These people don't believe in. They're above the law now. I'm telling you, my brother.
We make them up. We create a situation for them to be.
No, it's not we, my brother. I'm telling you. Like you now, they're listening to you. To be a good leader, you have to be a good listener. You've been preferring solutions. I've been following you, but they are not listening.
Well, they don't have to listen to me, but let them just do the right thing.
Look at that. You don't need to be in government.
And of course not, no.
You've been providing solutions. Let them seek all these things from you. They will take the glory, not you, Uncle Jimmy.
Yes.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you. By the way, talking about preferring solutions, I believe somebody should sanction the Commissioner for Transport in Lagos State. On Saturday, knowing that your third mainland bridge has been blocked, you now allowed some people carry it to marathon, and then you blocked part of Eco Bridge access. I don't know how that ever came about. The traffic stretched from Ido Terminus all the way almost down to Ikoyi Hotel at about 9:10 in the morning. I don't know why we do these things. And as that was happening, there were other constructions going on the same route. I don't know. Somebody complained about it was Adenusi Patrick. And I think that we need to sit the gentleman down and let him have a wider perspective to these things. How could you have approved a marathon at a time when half of your whatever is on lockdown? I don't know where that came from. And you know that Lagos is now a 24-hour, 7-day city. There are no free days. Even Sundays, the traffic is just as bad. So I'd like to plead with the commissioner to please, have a wider... Maybe it was even done without his knowledge. Who knows? Maybe the marathon was just approved. But the suffering that you put us through on Saturday was unprecedented. And I am saying that between Liberals and GT and a few other lawyers, some of you should please file a suit against the government sometimes and let them pay dearly for the inconvenience that they bring to people. Saturday was just hell. And you have that weekday, then it's a Saturday again, the same thing. Difficult for you to move within the city. I hope that whoever is in authority would be listening to this and make sure that it doesn't happen again. Let us always have a wider perspective on an issue. Okay, marathon at a time like this. Somebody added in the COVID era, but I don't know the consequences of having marathon in the COVID era. I honestly don't know. But let me take one more call before I go. Hello, morning.
Hello?
Morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yes, sir.
Oga.
Hello? Hello? We lost that call. Let's try again. Hello, morning. Hello?
Yeah, good morning, sir. Mr. Jimmy.
Morning. How are you, sir?
Fine, sir. Sorry, I'm calling from on the road. I've been listening to...
But there's some background noise there. I don't know. You have to call back when you're in a stationary position. Okay. Morning. Hello?
Hello?
Hello, morning, sir. Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Morning.
Yes.
Mr. Jimmy?
Yes.
Okay. My name is George. I'm calling from somewhere around Ajawa State.
No problem, sir.
National Airport Road. Okay, quickly, I just want to comment on the... you and Chief Darlington had a discussion earlier on.
Yes.
And from what I can pick out, I just want to focus on one point, which is the issue of the petition that was sent to the UK Parliament.
Mm-hmm.
I think you misunderstand the whole idea.
Okay.
And I don't think there's anything wrong in what we've done, in that process, because it has come to a point where I think all resources or all avenues has to be explored in order to get Nigeria to work right.
Okay.
Now, the petition at the UK Parliament is focused on sanctioning the leaders.
Yes.
And then I think members of the military or something who were involved in the Lekki shooting, I think they were very specific on who the sanctions were going to be placed on. It's not on the entire country. So let's not misunderstand the whole thing.
Yes, I know that.
Because I know you were speaking against it and then saying that it's an attempt to recolonize us and all of that.
I didn't say that. If Darlington said that.
Okay. So I think we should...
and I agree with him.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So I think I feel that's wrong. We should disabuse our minds from thinking in that manner.
Okay, so, your point is made, and we really have to go.
Specific persons. And
okay.
It happens all over the world. It's not a new thing. It's part of diplomacy. It's part of...
okay, all right. I'm sorry I had to cut you off. Please, when you do call in, you have a minute. And I have to be out of here in the next 1 minute. Am I right? So tomorrow we'll be back. It's Jebumi. I think we'll continue this discussion on Thursday. And I'll try to see if we can bring somebody in to stimulate this discussion even further. But thank you all for expressing your views. I'm particularly excited at those that disagreed, with me, because it's a free world. You can express your views and so on and so forth. But like I said, please, let's be less emotional and let's be less angry, okay? Thank you very much for all perspectives that were given, especially the last caller. Thank you. That's the way he sees it. I agree with some of it. I don't agree with some. That's the way life goes. I'll be back. I'd like to thank Zainab and Philip.
Loads and loads of comments on social media, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, everywhere.
Well, that's the way it goes. It can be continued. We'll continue again on Thursday. All right, but please, when you leave these messages, don't go personal on anybody. Once you do that, it knocks out the point that you're trying to make. If you go abusive. We'll be back again tomorrow, 9 o'clock. See you then.
It's okay. That is okay. It's okay. Let me explain. No, it's okay. Let me explain. It's okay. She. Off your mic.
On 99.3 Nigeria Info, your mic is always on. Let's talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
When it comes to watching your favorite comedy videos, are you